Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 25 is here, and I'm already excited for the next chapter, so I'm going to be predicting what I think Chapter 26 is going to cover. So Chapter 26, I think, is going to cover, one, Shikamaru talking with the elders, talking about how the mission went, their cooperation with Boruto, Boruto being in the village, how they were able to defeat them, but at the same time, there's still other bigger fish to fry, and now they're coming here. How Shikamaru was able to get intel about the Shinju and all of that stuff. Like, they're going to be very curious how he knew what he was knowing, how he was able to, like, send everybody over there with no prior knowledge or understanding of who they are or what they were. You know what I mean? It was more intelligence that they could gather from Boruto's interrogation. So they could put two and two together and decide that, like, Boruto escaping, his interrogation not adding up, you going in there and letting Mitsuki get him free, all of it could tie them to pointing at Shikamaru and being like, hey, are you working with the traitor? Are you actually working with him? Are you trying to work things out? You know, it's going to put Shikamaru in kind of a tricky position in a box, really, where they can look at him and kind of be like, hey, what's going on here? You know? And then, maybe we get to see what Moegi, Gaara, and Shinki are like after, you know, being no longer being Shinju or being free of it. See if they give us any information, any kind of clues, any kind of... Were they aware of what was going on? I'm really interested to see if they have any intel on that. If there's some sort of way they can be like, okay, so they like have a connection or whatever. You know what I mean? Maybe we see Sumire and Sarada go over to Ada. I think that's another point that we're going to see. We're going to see them talk about, I guess, Boruto. It feels like that's going to be their main talking point, since Ada was like, hey, let me get in contact with the girls. That, or Sarada and Sumire may get put on Ada protection because Mamoshi's coming after them, and Sarada has already proven that she's capable of defeating, you know, one Shinju. Why not another? And as for Sumire, I guess she can just kind of be like a night watchman or something like that. She can keep an eye on them, just for security's sake. And that way Ada has somebody to talk to, you know? I guess that's something that she likes or wants to do. And then maybe we see Gaara wake up and him trying to, like, talk with Shikamaru and dealing with, like, how do we fight against the Shinju? What's the next step? And we figure out how they get brought back into the story or become a part of the story again, or, you know, things like that. Like, how do they... Oh, the Shinju are going to the Hidden Leaf Village. Shinki, let's go help them out. You know what I mean? Is it going to be something like that, or are they kind of, like, dealing with their own thing? You know, it's up in the air right now. And then... I don't know. I doubt we'll get any more Kurama and Himawari training, just because they already covered that last... I'm not going to say it's a complete no, but it's kind of like, we already saw her training and she didn't really quite understand it, so I think it's going to take, like, just actual, like, not practice, actual, like, the moment's going to actually come and then she'll finally get it or something. I don't know. And then maybe we get to see Momoshiki's answer to Boruto. It's kind of up in the air right now. They might want to cover it in a flashback in another time. They might, like, move past it and start going towards, like, Mamushi entering the village and then start figuring out if Momoshiki agreed or didn't agree. You know, we'll have to figure that out later, maybe. That's why it's like, it feels like they could or they couldn't. You know what I mean? They could go in that direction where they, like, show the full conversation with Boruto being like, I'll give you the body. And Momoshiki's like, okay, Brat, you'll give me the body if I give you my power to defeat Jura. But once I do, I get full ownership of this. You know what I mean? I'm in control. And anything that I do, you know what I mean? It's so complicated, you know what I mean? But that's why I think it'll be exciting if they, like, hold that conversation back, any kind of deal that they make, you know, stuff like that. And then, yeah, I think, I'd honestly like to see what, like, Damon is doing. You know, I just kind of want to see, like, after Ada kind of got told that Mamoshi's coming after her, I would imagine Damon's excited to have somebody to fight against. But I don't know. And I'd also like to see the Shinju, Hidari and Jura and Mamushi and what they're up to. So still kind of up in the air right now. Still have some things that they have to like touch on, or they have to like think about before they can like get back into the heavy action again. You know what I mean? They have to sort some things out or build up some suspense or thrill, or like, you know, the tension has to be a lot higher, I guess. And then strategizing and figuring out how they're going to move forward. Not to mention Kashin Koji. Figuring out how he fits into the equation and all. How he and Shikamaru are going to come up with a plan to deal with Mamushi. And figuring out what he saw in that Prescience vision. So, like well, maybe not all of it, but pieces of it. We kind of saw it, but I kind of want to hear from Kashin Koji himself. Like, this is the plan, this is the strategy. He's going to come here, this, that, the other thing. Maybe he'll be like, I need Sarda and Sumiri to protect Ada. You know, all of that stuff. Well, we'll have to see, but until chapter 26, let me know what your predictions are. Do you think that there's going to be like, do you think it's going to be some more build-up, or do you think they're going to show like Momoshiki and Boruto still talking? Do you think we're going to get Himawari training some more? Do you think we're going to get maybe a Kawaki and Amado talk of some kind? You know, there's still so many things that we have to figure out. Do you think Moegi's going to be able to give us some insight to the Shinju and what they're up to, you know? But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. What are your predictions? But for me, that's what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to be Shikamaru and the Elders. Maybe Moegi talking about the Shinju. Sarda and Sumiri talking to Ada. And then possibly a Boruto and Momoshiki finishing conversation, you know? But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah.